12 days without food, 23 pounds lost, and a breathing technique that you can use to curb your hunger and to lose weight is what I'm going to talk about today in this video. So quickly, just a few things about the fasting progress. Since we've been following this day by day, I've been trying to share the new developments in the fast. One thing that came to me that I just haven't realized this, it's been happening for quite a while now during the fast, but one nice advantage of fasting is that normally when you have maybe like 3 or 4 strands running through your mind, you may be talking with somebody, but then you're planning what's going to happen later, and you're thinking about a few other things. You may have a lot going on in your mind. I found that when we're fasting after a few days, our body goes into maybe like a little bit of a power saver mode, so we sort of shut down what's not necessary. So the nice benefit of this is an overall greater feeling of relaxation, but beyond that, just the ability to concentrate on what you're doing in the present moment more than when I'm not fasting. So it's effortless to just whatever I'm doing. If I'm washing the dishes, then I'm only thinking about washing dishes. If I'm cooking for my wife and family, that's all I'm thinking about. If I'm making this video, I'm not thinking about anything else. So that's very nice. It's very hard sometimes to decompress and to limit our minds without special concentration. Now, Qigong helps you to cultivate that ability to concentrate on one thing at a time, but it certainly is nice to have that ability for free. One other just little thing that happened is my stepson, he's turning 20 in 2 days, and we sort of had like a little pre-birthday dinner where I told him, I'll make you anything you want to eat. And he said, well, I'd really love a Hawaiian cheesesteak. Now, Hawaiian cheesesteak is one of the recipes that I created for a food truck that I used to have called Really Philly, where I made Philadelphia cheesesteaks. That was one of my most popular cheesesteaks. It's a teriyaki bacon pineapple cheesesteak. So taking the Philadelphia cheesesteak and making it a Hawaiian experience. Well, my mom, my aunt, my wife, and my stepson all had cheesesteaks last night, and I'm the cook, so I prepared them, I served them, and I didn't have one thought about actually wanting to eat it. I was okay with the smell. It smelled good. It looked like the sandwiches turned out really good. And probably the first thought in this entire fast, in the first 12 days, because I'm very committed to this, is when I looked at it, I said, wow, that looks really nice. And I wasn't going deep into the emotions of the food, but it looked like a good sandwich. And I did have the one fleeting thought of, you know what, when I'm back to eating, I'll probably have to make that a little bit sooner than I normally would have made it. Like, if I hadn't have done this fast, I might not have cooked something like that for maybe 6 months. But now, when I am back to the fast, there's no hurry for it. As I mentioned in my 5 tips for fasting success in a video, I believe it was day 5, one of those ideas is just put it off to later. I just naturally thought, well, when I'm back to eating food, I'll probably make that a lot sooner than I normally would. But not in any hurry to it, and I'll probably forget to do that. It's not like I'm going to be doing it immediately after the fast. So it did just bring back one of my favorite things to mind to have in the future. So that's the closest I've come to having a desire to eat food, but it really wasn't a desire to eat it. It was just, it looked good, and I thought it's something I might enjoy later. Now, for the Bigu breathing technique. The word Bigu is a Chinese word. Sometimes people call it Pigu or Paigu or Baigu, depending on how it's pronounced. But it comes from the Chinese word meaning without grain. So Chinese were the original low-carb people because no grain. It actually means no rice, but it extends to no grains. And in a more symbolic meaning, the meaning has been extended to just no food at all. Since rice is such a key staple in the Chinese diet, if you don't eat rice, you're basically not eating like the basic, what people would consider sustenance from food. Rice is their key staple. So when you say Bigu, it literally means no rice. Symbolically, that meaning has expanded to mean no food. And when it comes to the Taoist beliefs and the Taoist writings, there's a saying that he who lives off of qi without food is immortal. So this practice goes back a long time. Now with this Bigu breathing technique, there's a breathing method that will help you. It will completely reduce your hunger feelings, and you will draw in energy with this, although this is not primarily an energy gathering technique. It's going to help you with this hunger, and another main benefit of it is it brings the blood up to your face more. So a lot of times when fasting, you'll get these dark circles under your eyes, and this will actually help to prevent that, or if you're dieting. So you can use this breathing technique even if you're not trying to restrict what you eat. Just by doing the Bigu breathing, you'll reduce your appetite, you'll reduce your hunger, and you'll probably end up eating less anyway. I mean, unless, of course, you're determined to eat the same amount of food you've been eating. But this should actually help you to reduce it naturally. So the recommendation is to do this for about 15 minutes, about an hour before you eat, at least once a day, and possibly twice a day. Now, this is supposed to be done in conjunction with other forms of Qigong. So while this is reducing your hunger and helping you in that department, the other methods of Qigong are going to help you to draw energy in, to have energy that replaces the food. So with this technique, we limit our hunger, and with other Qigong techniques, they're more powerful for absorbing energy. Now, in my book, Qigong for Weight Loss, this Bigu breathing process is explained in detail in that book, along with several energy gathering techniques that are designed for weight loss. They're a little milder than a typical Qigong practice because if you're doing some intense fasting, it's good to do a more yin or more just receiving, more gentle type of Qigong. And you can also do, which is what I'm doing, the more standing form Qigong, a little bit more intense Qigong. And that practice is in the Discovering Qi program, which is the program that follows this 21-day case study. So after this 21-day Qigong for Weight Loss case study, there's a free 36-day Discovering Qi program. So you can go in the blog post linked to from below this description, you can go register for that Discovering Qi program. If it's not out, you'll be on the waiting list, and when it is out, you'll just automatically receive that. So for Bigu breathing, I have on this, I've actually ordered a microphone that I can have right here so my voice will travel to that microphone. So after I give you the basics of the Bigu breathing technique, I'm going to demonstrate it silently from the sitting position so that you can see what it looks like to do it, so you have that picture. But I'm not going to speak when I do my sitting down walkthrough of this. But first I'm going to explain the basics of this process. And feel free to come back and watch this video again, because I'm not going to repeat them in the video. I'm just going to go through it quickly so that you have it. You can always hit rewind, watch the video again, and you can always leave questions in the comments below if something doesn't make sense. So our first step to the Bigu breathing process is we use a special hand position, or mudra, some people call. So for a man, you want to take your left hand and hold it like this and make like a big C. And then you want to take your right hand, your other hand, and make a smaller C. And then put the smaller C inside the big C. And to have a circle like this. Now if you're a woman, you're going to start off by taking your right hand, and then you're going to put your left hand in the smaller C inside of it. So I'm a man, I'm going to use this one for my demonstrations. So the first step is to get your hand position. So I'll review that one more time. Left hand for a man with the right hand inside. Right hand for a woman with the left hand inside. So this is mine. So the first step is to take this hand position and bring it to your chest. And then typically you'll close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth 3 times just to center and relax yourself. We're normally going to be doing this in a seated position. I'm just demonstrating it while standing because that's how I'm set up to record this video. It's just easier to do it. But we'll be doing this in a sitting position. When you see my silent walkthrough, you'll see this process repeated. So after you've breathed in through your nose and out through your mouth 3 times, you want to set a general good intention. Just set a positive intention. We'll leave it very simple. Just have an overall good intention, an intention for well-being. Take a moment to set that intention. And then have a gentle smile on your face and smile inwardly into your brain. And then you will bring the hand position up to your forehead like this, with your thumb just kind of resting nicely on your nose and the hand position covering your forehead. And then you are going to, if you were, typically you do this sitting, but then I would bend down until I can't bend down any further. And you would do this while sitting. You'll actually rest your elbows on your knees, or possibly sort of this part of your elbows, whatever's comfortable. You're going to rest your arms on your knees, bending down as far as you can with the hand position on your forehead. And then while this hand position is on your forehead, you're going to, when you first go down to your knees, you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth 3 more times, just to clear the carbon dioxide out of your lungs and to relax yourself further. So you'll do another 3 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. After that, you will not breathe in through, you will not use your mouth anymore. You will just breathe in and out through your nose. So while holding this position, what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in through your nose and fill your lungs about 1/3 of the way. After you've breathed in 1/3 of a breath, you're going to hold your breath for a moment, long enough to say a word. Now the word could be something like peace, love, joy, harmony. In Hawaii we have aloha, or even mahalo, which means thank you. So any of these words that just give you a good feeling, you choose one word, but after choosing that word, stick with that word and make that your word. So with the hand position on our foreheads and leaned over, leaning like our knees supporting our arms, you breathe in 1/3 of a breath into your lungs, hold the breath for a moment, say your word like harmony, and then after you finish saying the word, breathe in to fill the lungs another 2/3 of the way, and then no need to pause. Just once it's at the 2/3 level, just exhale fully. You don't need to do this forcefully. Just exhale until you don't have anything else left to exhale. On the exhale, you want to count. So on the first breath, you'll count 1. On the 10th breath, you'll be counting 10. That helps you to concentrate on the exercise, because this works if you pay attention on the breath. So you're breathing in, you're filling your lungs to 1/3 of the way, you're paying attention to get to that point, and then you're pausing and you're saying your word, harmony. You're also programming the energy with that word and with that positive intention. So peace, love, joy, harmony, any word that feels good for you. Then you're concentrating on filling it 2/3 of the way, and then you're exhaling and remembering your count. So this breathing process has you pay enough attention to the breathing that hopefully you're not thinking about a million other things. So this won't work if you're planning your shopping list for later, or if you're trying to go over your day and thinking about what's happened. To the best of your ability, concentrate on this process. And you want to do this for, in the beginning, you could do it for 36 breaths. If it's challenging, then you could just stop and then try to do some more later. Maybe do 36 breaths, then do 54 breaths, and then 76, and then 108. But you want to get to the point where you can do 108 breaths. Should be pretty easy, although you will feel a comfortable challenge of your patience in this process, just learning to relax and do this breathing. If you do find your mind wandering during this process, then just bring it back to the breath, and then keep going, and just continue that count onward. And you want to work up to 108 breaths. That's approximately a 15-minute-ish session I breathe pretty slowly doing this myself, and I've timed it. It's roughly about 15 minutes. Just could be a little less for you if you do it a little faster. Could be a little longer if you take more time. So from this bent over position sitting, when you reach your 108th breath, then you just, after you've exhaled, you just inhale slowly, bring it back up to this position, then 3 more breaths in through the nose and now out through the mouth, just to reset a normal breathing pattern. And then after that 3rd breath, you just open your hands to your eyes. And what we're going to do is we're going to, starting from the bridge of the nose outward, we're going to massage the eyes and the area around the eyes 9 times. So 1, 2, 3, just breathing normally. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then bringing our hands down. You could put them on the dantian, or you could just bring them to your side. Either way is fine. And breathing naturally for a breath or 2. And slowly opening your eyes. And that's the Bigu breathing technique. Now I'm going to be back in one moment in a chair to demonstrate that silently, just so you can see what the entire process looks like. I'm not going to do the entire 108 breaths. I'm just going to simulate that for a few breaths so you can see what this whole thing looks like start to finish from a sitting position. So there you have it, the Bigu breathing process. This works great to control that appetite, and just doing this alone will help you to lose weight. I've outlined the full program for Qigong for weight loss in my new book, so pick up a copy of that. It's very cheaply priced, and it'll be very valuable for you if you just follow it. The process looks very simple, but it's very effective. As with many things in life, there are a lot of easy things you can do that produce a great return for your time invested. So make sure you do that. Ask questions. I'm always reading the comments, and I answer all comments. So there's no reason not to do this, not to take advantage of this. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 13 of Qigong for weight loss, 21 days without food case study. Howla!